Before we get into our next topic, I do want to give a trigger warning for sexual assault. If you're like triggered by that, you might want to skip this part because we are breaking down a song lyrics for "Dance with the Devil" by Immortal Technique. If you know what that is, then you know what I'm talking about. If you don't know what that is, and you are triggered by sexual assault and rape, just you probably do want to skip to the next part of the episode.
Yeah, and before you start breaking it down, because you got the lengthy breakdowns. To sum it up for people who don't know what the song is, this song is about an actual event. So it's based on true story. It kind of puts in his own words. A lot of people thought that it was like there was another meaning to the song than what it actually is. But at the same time, to give it a little quick breakdown, it is a dark and cautionary story, but it explores themes of ambition, morality, consequences of a life of crime. It serves as a stark warning about the dangers of being consumed by pursuit of power, specifically through criminal means. Immortal Technique also emphasizes in the song that you know these type of paths only lead to like destruction and things of that nature.
Yeah. I do want to add to what you said about it being based on a true story. I've seen some interviews where he said it's not based on a true story, and some where he said it is. Then I've seen another interview where he said it's technically based on a true story, but it's not something that he's seen personally. He just says stuff like that happens.
Right.
There's no telling because there's lots
What he
of like
probably did was he probably pulled out, not pulled out, but like had articles of things, kind of like Joyner Lucas does.
song. I don't know how to say his last name.
Who is it?
There was a dude. I think he was from the New England area named Ross. I don't know how to say his last name. It's like Capanche or something. And he like moved to a new school. He met a new friend, and they started like hanging out and stuff. And then the new friend shot him like a bunch of times with a shotgun and set him up and robbed him. And he ended up surviving. Jonah Lucas made a song telling a story about it from like two perspectives. He did it from Ross's perspective, then did it from the shooter's perspective.
Right, right.
But that'd be a good one to break down for a future episode.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
But yeah, my fault for interrupting you.
No, you're good, bro. Good. Hey, man, we got nothing but time. But yeah, like so, the song is definitely very deep. It is very raw and very bold. You want to start breaking that down? You can at any time, bro.
You got the lyrics pulled up too. I just pulled them up on Genius, so we can both see them. You got.
Hold on.
He started off. I once knew a guy whose real name was William. His primary concern was making a million and being the illest hustler that the world ever seen. He would have sex with movie stars.
Can we play the song if we
I don't want to because I don't want it to get taken down for copyrights.
Well, that's why we put disclaimers.
Yeah, but YouTube still take it down. They're really strict on stuff like that. Like I know reaction videos, they have to like pause the video at least every 15 seconds and stuff.
Well, yeah,
but
that's what you can hear it and then kind of pause it after a certain time frame and kind of break that piece down. So you kind of go section by section.
I was just gonna pause after like when I feel like it was a good time to talk about what's happening.
Bet.
But I don't want to risk it, especially not on our first episode.
Yeah, no, of course, bro.
He knew a dude named William. His primary concern was making a million and being the illest hustler the world ever seen. He would have sex with movie stars and sniff coke in his dreams. So basically, he knew a dude named William, and he just wanted to make money, be with the girls, live that type of lifestyle, that famous person lifestyle.
Right.
A corrupted young mind at the age of 13. He never had his father. His mom was a fiend. She put the pipe down, but for every year that she was sober, her son's heart simultaneously grew colder. So his mom's smoking. I would assume crack at this time when this song came out. That's what it was talking about. Oh yeah, it said the pipe too. So yeah, she was smoking crack. Right. He never had a dad, so It's what he turned to, this lifestyle. He started banging out, selling bags in the projects, checking the young chicks, looking for hit and run prospects. He was fascinated by material objects. He understood money never bought respect, but he built a reputation because he could hustle and steal. He got locked up once and didn't hesitate to squeal. So the criminals he chilled with didn't think he was so real. You see, me and people like him have never been equal, and I don't have to project my insecurities on other people. So he was trying to build up his respect in the streets. He was like hitting licks, robbing people. Then he got locked up and sold on everybody. He pulled a 6ix9ine is what they saying. So he lost all his respect.
Correct.
And Immortal Technique was saying he wouldn't do that, and they not he fiended for props like addicts with their pipes and needles. So that's a nice line. I never really thought about deeper until I was reading it because his mom, she's an addict. So it's like passing down to him the addict tendencies and
Right.
behavior. But he wants the fame
Right.
and the money instead of the drugs.
Yeah, he wants the other side of the coin.
He addicts with pipes and needles. He felt that he had to prove to everyone that he was evil, a feeble mind, young man with infinite potential, the product of a ghetto-bred capitalistic mental, coincidentally dropped out of school to sell weed, dancing with the devil, smoking till his eyes would bleed, but he was sick of selling trees and gave in to his greed. So then it goes into the chorus. So I just want to say though, the way that Immortal Technique is a top-notch lyricist, the way that he rhymes and the way he puts together the bars is insane.
Absolutely, man. His lyrics are definitely on a very high level.
You know who used to be a battler? He battled Iron Solomon.
Yeah, way back in the day. Yeah.
I'm only gonna read the chorus once. I ain't gonna read it for the future times. Everyone trying to be trite, they never face the consequences. You probably only did a month for minor offenses. Ask someone doing life if you had another chance, but then again, there's always the wicked that knew in advance. You dance with forever with the devil on a cold cell block. But that's what happens when you rape, murder, and sell rock. Devils used to be gods, angels that fell from the top. There's no diversity. We all burning in the melting pot. I really like the
Yeah,
chorus,
man.
especially it sounds so eerie when
Yeah, I was gonna say. I think reading the actual lyrics to it doesn't really do as much justification as hearing it. The way it sounds, the way he says it, is what really makes it.
that's a fact. If you listening right now, actually turn our podcast off, go listen to the song, then come back. There's no diversity with Burner. So Billy started robbing anything he could do to get his respect back in the eyes of his crew. He started fights over little stuff on a block, stepped up to selling mothers and brothers for crack rock. Was that saying with that bar, was they saying he was human trafficking people, or was he like selling them drugs and they was like losing their lives to the crack? Because he says selling mothers and brothers. Oh no, I read that wrong. I read that wrong. Never mind. It says stepped up to selling mothers and brothers to crack. Right. Never
Right.
mind.
Yeah.
I read that wrong. Never mind. For some reason I thought it said for crack rock. It says sold them to crack rock.
Yo, it's human trafficking.
Bro, I read that wrong. I don't know why. I read it as stepping up to selling mothers and brothers for crack rock.
Yeah, bro.
I don't know.
You made that go left.
Working overtime for making money for the crack spot. He hit the jackpot, wanted to move up to cocaine, feeling the Scarface fantasy stuck in his brain, tired of the block treating him the same. He wanted to be major like the cutthroats and the thugs, but when they stepped to him, they showed him no love. So he's doing all this trying to earn his respect, but they still don't care because he snitched.
Right.
It don't matter what
Yeah.
you did before, what
Yeah.
you're doing now. You a snitch. So they told him that any coward can sell drugs, anyone can bust slugs, anyone with a red shirt can say they are blood, even Puffy smoked someone up in the club. So they're saying, bro, it doesn't matter what you're doing. At the end of the
And
day,
that
you
line's
still.
crazy. The context of that line is crazy too, man.
That's a fact.
Because
It's like
that's circling back to when supposedly allegedly Shine shot somebody in the club.
yeah, it's just like it don't matter, bro. Like you doing these drills, you selling these drugs, but at the end of the day, you told on us.
Yep.
But only a real thug can stab someone till they die, standing in front of them, staring straight into their eyes. Billy realized these men were well guarded. They wanted to test him before any business started. Suggested SA and a woman to prove that he was cold hearted. So now he had a choice be going back to his life or making money with the made men up in the safe. His dreams about cars and ice made him agree because a hardcore thug is all he ever wanted to be. And so he met them Friday at a night at 2:45. So then it goes back to the hook. So they basically told him, you don't want to be a snitch. We gotta make you do the worst thing possible to prove that you really like that now. So they saying that he has to rape a woman.
Right. Mind you, everybody, this is him portraying an image of somebody else.
Yeah. The character's name is William. It's not Mortal Technique.
Right.
So then the chorus happens again. They drove around the project slow while it was raining, smoking blunts, drinking and joking for entertainment. Until they saw the woman on the street walking alone. 3 in the morning, come back from the work on her way home. They quietly got out the car and followed her, walking through the projects, and the darkness swallowed her. So they found a woman. They gonna do it to her. They wrapped her shirt around her head and knocked her onto the floor. This is it, kid. Now it's your chance to be raw. So Billy yoked her up and grabbed the chick by her hair. They dragged her into a lobby that had nobody there. She struggled hard and they forced her to go up the stairs. They got to the roof and they held her down on the ground, screaming, shut the up and stop moving around. The shirt covered her face and she screamed and clawed. And Billy stomped on her until it broke her jaw. They knew exactly what they was doing. They kicked her and they cracked her ribs and she stopped moving. And blood leaked through the cloth. She's cried quietly. She cried silently as they all proceeded to SA her violently. Billy was made to go first, but each of them took a turn, ripping her up, choking until her throat burned. Her broken jaw mumbled to God, but they weren't concerned. When they were down and she was laying bloody, broken, and bruised, one of them pulled out a brand new 22. They told her that she was a witness of what she gone through, and they killer Billy was guaranteed a spot in the crew. I'm not gonna lie, I don't like reading this, bro.
Yeah, no, that's tough. That's a tough. I'm like listening, bro, and I'm like, it's cringy,
Yeah,
cringy.
I don't like reading this, bro.
Yeah, it's
Uh,
definitely a cringy song, man.
I'm not. I know I laugh, but I'm not laughing because it was funny. I'm like, it's like it's just something. I don't want people to think I think it's funny.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
It's like an awkward
No,
laugh. It's like I'm cringe, but I don't like reading stuff like this.
right.
22. So yeah, they took her to an abandoned building. They did all that, and now Billy got to kill her. You know what's something I never really thought of listening to the song, but reading it, how each of them did it to her instead of just Billy.
Yeah, man.
That makes it so much worse because like they was trying to like it was bad because just to do it, but Billy was doing it to try to earn their respect to get back into the gang. They just did it just because.
Yeah, no, it's definitely weird, man.
Yeah. If he killed her, he was guaranteed a spot in the crew. He thought about it for a minute. She was already practically dead. So he leaned over and put the gun right to her head. And the bridge starts going. And it always reminded me this part. It's like I'm falling and I can't go back. It always sounded like Paul Bearer from WWE. The Undertaker's manager was like, oh, in the background of that part.
Yes. Yes.
Man, I don't like this part, bro. I don't like this part. I don't like any of it. But right before he pulled the trigger and ended her life, he thought about the cocaine with the platinum and ice and felt strong standing with his new brother. He cocked the gap back and pulled back the shirt cover. But what he saw made him start to cringe and stutter because he was staring into the eyes of his own mother. She looked back at him and cried because he had forsaken her. She cried even more painfully than when they was raping her. His whole world stopped and he couldn't even contemplate. His corruption had successfully changed his fate. And he remembered how his mom used to come home late, working hard for nothing, because now what was he worth? He turned away from the woman that had once given him birth, cried out to the sky because he was lonely and scared, but only the devil responded because God wasn't there. And right then, he knew what it was like to be empty and cold, so he jumped off the roof and died with no soul. They say death take you to a better place, but I doubt it. After that, they killed his mother and never spoke about it. And listen, because this story that I'm telling you is true, because I was there with Billy Jacobs and I essayed his mom too. And now the devil follows me everywhere that I go. In fact, I'm sure he's standing among one of you at my show. Every street cipher, listen to Lil Thug's flow. He could be standing right next to you and you wouldn't even know. The devil grows inside the hearts of the selfish and cold, the selfish and wicked. White, brown, yellow, and black color is not restricted. You have a self-destructive destiny and you're inflicted, and you'll be one of God's children that fell from the top. There's no diversity because we're burning in the melting pot. So when the devil wants to dance with, so when the devil wants, you better say never, because a dance with the devil is gonna last you forever. Yeah, man, that song.
I think the song is super eerie. It definitely has its cringe to it. But I also respect the talent of lyricism that took it to get there as well.
Yeah. He also does a little bridge at the end where he's like talking about where he like goes back into the like he blends it in with the chorus. There's no diversity. We're all burning in the melting pot. The way that he was able to tell this story with the multis, the levels of writing that he had in it is insane.
Yeah, bro. Like his delivery, it was top notch.
I did not like reading that at all, though, bro. I'm never gonna
Nah,
read this again.
yeah, no, I probably don't even want to listen to it again, to be honest.
Now, that's a fact. It hits different when you gotta read it. Like when you just listen. Like I've listened to it.
Yeah.
I've listened to it. Like I don't know how many times I listened to it, but I listened to it a good amount of times. It's different when you actually reading it and like breaking down what he's saying. It's like
Yeah, because I feel like you kind of put yourself in the shoes more when you're reading it. It's more of a in-depth feeling to it. Like, yeah, you can hear the emotion in the song, but when you're reading it in your emotion. So as certain pieces start hitting, yeah, it's different.